Today, guys, we'll be talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves and their outlook for the season. We're going to go through some of their players, but I got to start with my favorite player on their team, and that's Anthony Edwards. The dude is nuts athletically. He is in the top tier in the entire NBA in terms of athleticism. And usually my favorite players are efficient players who don't take bad shots and make good decisions with the ball. And Anthony Edwards is the complete inverse of that. We all saw that crazy dunk that he had, and that's his potential. That dunk is what we could see on a night-to-night basis because of this kid's ceiling. But we also see some lowlights. Kind of a turnover machine, definitely has the blinders on, not really looking to teammates to pass, but he's so gifted athletically that sometimes it's really okay that he does it. Another issue with him is he's a shot chucker, right? He likes to put it up. He's taking the second most shots in the league over the last month, only behind Bradley Beal, who's a certified 30-point per game scorer in this league. So Anthony Edwards definitely has the confidence to be a star. He's just got to work on the little things like defensive rotations, defensive IQ, and offensive IQ. If he can just improve his game knowledge, I think this is a really special talent that they drafted at 1. And it's not going to be one of those situations where they're like, dang, I wish we drafted LaMelo. I don't think it's going to be like that. So overall, I'm high on Edwards. I think he's got a few things to figure out, but eventually he'll get it. Next player I want to talk about is Karl-Anthony Towns. We all know Karl-Anthony Towns is extremely talented. Like, the dude is a bucket. And he's one of the greatest shooting big men of all time. Like, you can write that down in stone. He will be up there in the upper echelons of shooters over 7 feet. He shoots in such a unique way too. He can catch and shoot, he can run off screens. He's a very unique offensive talent, but I think we're all in the same boat with Karl, where it's like, are you just putting up stats because you're on a garbage team, or are you a winning player? And I know a couple years ago, he was atrocious defensively. He has gotten better, and that's improvement, right? And we're excited to see that from him, but he's got to take it to another level, I think, because just a couple of years ago, he was in the same conversation as Jokic and Embiid, and those two players far surpass him now. So hopefully he can figure it out. He's a super dynamic player, and with more talent around him, I think he'll get better. Another player I want to talk about is D'Angelo Russell. This is a little controversial. D'Angelo Russell is starting to play better, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though I think he is either the second worst or worst defender in the entire league, only behind Lou Williams. I've never seen someone try so little on defense, but let's not crap on him a bunch. Let's go to his offensive game, which is obviously his specialty. His mid-range jumper is clean. It goes in a really good clip, and he's confident taking that shot. So that's what you want to see from a guy like that. He's a great pick and roll player. He likes to keep people on his back, slow the pace down, and then find open shooters either in the corners or just throw it up to Karl. It's been working really well when they're out there on the court together, but obviously he's been injured quite a bit. And he's an effective three-point shooter. So, I mean, he's kind of got the offensive repertoire to like be an all-star caliber scorer. But in terms of his all-around game, he's just got to improve on the defensive side, because you can't have him and Karl-Anthony Towns, who are kind of below where they're expected to be at defense, out on the court at the same time and expect to stop anybody. So maybe with some improvements to D'Angelo Russell's defense will really help this team. Now I'm going to talk about a player that people probably don't have a lot of knowledge about throughout the league, but that's Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels is a large wing player, similar to Jonathan Isaac in the sense that he's a shot blocker, but he plays on the wing. He has the highest block rate of any player who's not a center, and that's pretty helpful for a team who struggles on defense. We'll see how his offensive game comes along. He's shown flashes here and there that he can hit the 3 ball. But if he finds a game where he can like put it on the floor and drive to the hoop by himself, like, this kid's potential is pretty high too. So clearly what Minnesota was thinking in that draft is just draft 2 players that have really, really high ceilings, and then hopefully they can hit those ceilings, because Minnesota's desperate for talent and desperate to make the playoffs. So with all those things said, I think Minnesota has a chance next year to be a decent team and make the play-in tournament. I don't think they're going to be a top 6 team in the West. I just don't see it happening. But could they be the 10 seed and maybe be similar to the Grizzlies or like maybe the Pelicans? Yes, I can see that. They just have too much talent to keep sucking. And I'm counting on the improvements of Jaden McDaniels. I'm counting on the improvements of Anthony Edwards, and I'm counting on the health of Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. If you guys agree or disagree with, let me know in the comments down below and we can chat in there. So hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, please leave a like. Obviously, drop a comment if you want to interact. And yeah, subscribe. Thanks, guys.